Hey, everybody, welcome to a brand new learning series titled Professional Etiquette for the Modern Workplace. I'm Mr. Chow, if we've never met, and I'm so excited to teach this class to you virtual. And I really hope that you just learned something out of it. All right, so this course is 5 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And today we're going to be going over an overview of the what and why professional etiquette is important for the modern workplace. If you're completing this course as many of you, when it's first released, um, please join our email list. I'll put the link below in the description. And if you complete it during these next 2 months, you can get a free certificate of completion. All right, here we go. In this video, we are going to talk about the why. And I'm going to explain the entire course. We're going to then define what professional etiquette is. Then we're going to look at the benefits of learning professional etiquette. Then we're going to go ahead and look at different generations and why that's important to understand when it comes to working with different types of people. And then we're going to look at how to develop your professional etiquette. And then finally, at the end of each video, as I always do, I always give you about 3 questions to reflect on, to look at. All right, here we go. Let's begin. Let's start with the why. There's 5 articles that have come up in the past few months that I've read and that have really convicted me to do this course for my students this year. Take a look at these titles. How to get Gen Z up to speed on workplace etiquette in a post-COVID-19 world. Here's another one from Fortune magazine. Neither Gen Z or older workers know how to act in the office. Bosses have a solution to give everyone an etiquette class. From LinkedIn, do younger workers lack office etiquette? Gen Z is setting the record straight. From this article right here, Gen Z are more concerned by getting better at their actual jobs than they are improving their office soft skills that their bosses say they lack. And then there's one more right here, Gen Z taking classes on the workplace etiquette due to lack of soft skills, etc. So as we see, this is a big need. And I really hope that whoever's listening to this, you can get a tip or two that's going to be helpful to your next job or your next professional development area. All right, so here we go. Why teach professional etiquette? Well, you might not have learned it in school. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, or at home. It's going to really benefit you for your entire life. It's not just about getting a job, but it's about keeping it. You may be able to get the job, but once you start working with certain types of people, etc., it may be difficult to keep that job. And that happens in every job. It benefits those around you as well when you have professional etiquette. It helps you have better success in your relationships, and it can really transform your character and your worldview. So as we move on to defining what personal etiquette is, I want to read you a definition. According to the USC Career Center, professional etiquette is about presenting yourself with polish and professionalism that demonstrates you can be trusted and taken seriously. Note, depending on which job you have and which industry you're in, this is going to vary. Now, what I'm talking about is for like in an office setting, any single professional setting that you work with people. But once again, every single job is going to be different. So you've got to kind of adapt to that, whatever job you decide to take. I was listening to a podcast recently from Ken Coleman and his Ramsey personality from Ramsey Solutions. And he really much talked about this. If you can get someone to like you, then they'll trust you. If you can get someone to trust you, then they'll count on you. If you can get someone to count on you, and then they'll promote you. So if you're taking notes, this is one of the notes that you're going to be taking. You can go and type that in, but it's so true. Why should you have professionalism? Because people like people who treat people with respect and professionalism at all times. As you can see, it's going to really work to your advantage if you are able to do that. Let's talk about the benefits, the other benefits of learning etiquette. It really helps you have a great first impression. Professional etiquette is not just kind of how you act, but it's really who you are when it comes to a professional setting. So we're going to talk more about that in this series. Number 2, it helps create a respectful atmosphere. Number 3, it really improves communication. And number 4, it improves your productivity and your community. Next, I want to talk about generations. And I threw this in there because I think it's really important to know that there's many different generations. And depending on which year you were born in, you're a part of a generation. And you could be at the beginning or at the tail end of this generation. And why am I showing you this? Because if you take a look right now at the current ages of Gen Z, it's anywhere from 11 to 26. Most likely, you're going to be working for a boss or a manager who's most likely going to be in the previous generation, such as the millennials or the Gen Z, or the Gen X. And why am I bringing this up? Because every single generation grew up in a kind of a different time. And why is that important? Because they experience different things, and they probably were raised a little bit differently as well. So when it comes to getting along with different colleagues, it's really important to understand that every life stage brings different experiences. And the other thing is, for example, if someone's single and someone has a family, there's obviously going to be different priorities, etc. So we'll talk a little more about that in this course, but I just want to make you aware of that from the get-go. Next, how do you develop your professional etiquette? Well, the best way, I would say, and I'll go through this over the next few videos if you're able to stay with us. Number one, give it time. You've got to be able to be a lifelong learner, and you've got to be able to learn each and every day on how you can get better and better. Number two, you got to do your own research before starting a job. What is the culture? What is the norm when it comes to this job? And how do people normally dress, act, talk, etc.? So that's really important to know. Number three, find great role models. Whenever I get a job, I always look at who do I want to be like in that field. And it's really important for you to draw close to role models that you can relate to, but you also want to be like. Number four, be teachable. One of the things I ask people who have experience in my field and really in any job that I've had before is, hey, what is your best advice for me? Hey, how can I improve? Hey, what would you do if you were in my position, etc. So be teachable. And then number five, learn how to work with all kinds of people. I know it's hard, and I've worked with all kinds of people, and I'm sure there's people I still haven't worked with, but I'm going to get to know. But it's one of those things where, if you can learn at a young age to deal with different types of people, you're going to be very successful in what you do, because every job um, um, every job has people in it, and every job you're going to have to work with different types of people. All right. So as we finish off this first video, thank you so much for watching. I want you to really think about three questions. And if you're taking notes, you can go and write down some answers to these questions in your notes. But who is a role model in your life who demonstrates professional etiquette? Who's the best at it in your life? And if you haven't had that person, the moment you get a job, find one. Number two, how would you rate your own professional etiquette now based on what we learned in this video? And number three, write down two questions that you have about professional etiquette and go find the answer. Like, when you think about professional etiquette, what do you think about? Find those questions and get those answers. All right. Thank you so much for watching. We're just getting started. Please stay with us over the next 4 videos. And I really hope that you learn a lot in this series. And we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.